Welcome, food travelers. I'm Micah.
And I'm Simon.
It's been a while since we've been to Wicked Spoon, and we are back here for another visit. I believe it's been almost 7 months, right, Simon?
Yeah, I was pretty interested in trying to find out, if there were any kind of noticeable changes, whether they improved or maybe they even went down a bit or just stayed even, especially with the food offerings. Yeah, it was pretty nice to kind of see the changes and see, hopefully, that they offered a lot of, different foods from the last time we were here.
Yeah, pretty much coming here, the lines seem about the same as the last time we came. It was pretty quick, just pay and then get in line and wait for your table, and it seems like they always sit us on the right side of the seating area, which is closer to the dessert section. I believe last time we were here, we were also sitting right by the dessert section, and I would like to sit on the left side, the other side by the salads, just to have a different perspective and different viewpoint from the buffet. Hopefully in the future they will allow us to do that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we had this conversation going in, and I was trying to think back to all the times that I've been to Wicked Spoon and where they've always sat, and that did pop up in my mind that we're always, as you're walking through the entrance, heading towards the right side, and that was the side that we were always seated on, and I don't think I've ever remembered actually being on the left side. So it was pretty, it's just seating, but, it's kind of nice to kind of get different perspective and be able to see different things as you're buffeting. And so, yeah, that's a discussion we did have that, hopefully one of these days, if we come back and visit, we'll get lucky and pull the either with a short straw or long straw, whatever it is, but they'll eventually seat us on the other side and give us a different view.
Yeah, and going through this buffet here, there are a couple of items that I noticed that were a little different here, that you will see later on in the video. But first with the salad section, I don't notice too much of a difference here since I didn't spend too much time on this side of the buffet each time we've been here. How about you, Simon? Do you see any difference here?
Not that I could tell. I generally don't head over to the salad section for many greens when I'm buffeting, but it just seemed kind of pretty much on par with what it has been in the past. I couldn't say that there was anything extra or they took anything away, so pretty much I think it was about the same.
Yeah, one thing I really like about this buffet is how organized they are from each visit that I've been here. Like the salad section is separate from all the meats, and the bread and cheeses are always right by the salad section, and they have the breakfast section in one area as well, and they seem like they always fill all the stations up and keep it nice and hot, so there's always items here whenever we come up to grab stuff. I think we came here on a later side of lunch towards closing, so there might be some items that look like it's kind of empty, but they did still fill it up as we were seated there too.
Yeah, I gotta echo what you said on that, and for the most part, everything was pretty filled. Even from the seafood sections, they didn't let any sections really get too bare. I think from what I remember, the only place I can remember, there was one little small section, and I think it kind of had maybe some breakfast food. It looked like maybe a possible omelet section that by the time we were there, it was kind of empty, wrapped up. There wasn't anything out, and no pots, no pans. That's the only place I can remember that actually didn't have anything in it. But for the most part, it was pretty much pretty full, even though we were, like you said, towards the back end of this lunch buffet.
And one thing I do really appreciate Wicked Spoon is having all the butter filled up for the crab leg section. So you don't have to spend more time filling up butter to go with your crab, it's already filled up and ready to go, and you just take a shot of it.
And pretty much for the most part, things are kind of the same. One of the things I actually tried was different was the, I would kind of describe it as a street food sausage, something that you'll see if you travel to Asia quite a bit, where you have a lot of different meats on sticks, and you get it was an offering that they had, and I wanted to try it. With a lot of the videos I've seen, especially from the past and travels to Asia, it's something I kind of miss, is seeing all these different hot dogs, fish cakes, everything else on sticks that you get to try and eat. And so I definitely wanted to grab one of those and try that. So I was happy to see that over kind of in their Asian section, which for the most part, they're pretty good at separating their sections into kind of places where the offerings are going to be in terms of what kind of food.
Yeah, I agree, Simon. I think that sausage, the Chinese sausage that they had there was really good. It reminded me a lot of what I had when I was in Asia as well, and I'm also really glad to see that they still have the stir-fry shrimp that they had last time. I believe when I had it last time, it was still very, very crunchy, and it was really good flavor to it. They add a lot of spices to it, so it was something I grabbed multiple times in this buffet.
Yeah, then kind of moving forward, I think for the most part, they had a lot of the similar things that they've had in the past. So if there are a lot of kind of items that if you've been to Wicked Spoon before and you kind of have these old favorites, you'll probably find the items that you want. And they did splash a little bit of new items here and there, but nothing in terms of major. So overall, it's just kind of how you would expect from the Wicked Spoon Buffet and the offerings from the Cosmopolitan, where it's just very good food. It's very reasonable. The price is pretty good. So overall, just a good buffet.
Yeah, and I'm glad they still have all these different type of meats that you can get from this buffet, and everything is still done pretty well, and everything is still very good flavor and seasoned well. So there's not any disappointment for the price point of this buffet. In comparison to other buffets on the strip, I think this one is priced pretty fairly, and the sizing of the buffet is pretty good too. So there is a lot of options you can get from this buffet.
And just something to note also, because we came back when pretty much Las Vegas is fully opened, and it was quite busy in terms of the strip itself, and just everybody kind of heading back out and enjoying themselves and exploring Las Vegas itself. And for Wicked Spoon, there's no reservations or anything, so it's just walk up only. And one of the nice things that I always found, even during this time and with the year prior when we were there, is just seating it's so nice and easy to get. It's not I don't ever remember having to wait so long. You might have seen our video at Ace Buffet where we waited 4 hours in line before we were able to get to the buffet. And if you want to watch that one, you can see the link below in the description box. But with Wicked Spoon, it's kind of one of those things where it runs pretty smoothly. So it seems like you don't always have to just, wait that hour in line to have things finished. Maybe it's just the luck of the draw for us every time we go, or when I'm there with family or anything like that. But at least that's what I've noticed, and that's one of the things I really do like, is not having to wait, especially when you're hungry.
Yeah, I agree, Simon. I think not having to wait really long for your table is always a benefit to have, especially in a Las Vegas buffet or restaurant in general. I think they do a really good job with that logistically, and I think if they can continue to do that and eventually maybe open up dinner and also be able to execute it like that, they would do really, really well. One thing I did see here that was a little bit different, I think, is that taco in this buffet. I don't remember seeing that in the past buffet that we went when we came into Wicked Spoon.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't ever remember seeing it before, and with buffets, it's always easy that you might have skipped something, and there's especially with the large buffet like Wicked Spoon is, where there's such a large amount of offerings, and so your eyes kind of jump from here to there. But kind of dig back from things I can remember about it. I don't ever remember having the tacos either. Maybe if anybody who's watching, if you've had tacos in the past, let us know and make sure that we know that there were tacos before and it's just something we might have missed.
Yeah, another item that I still feel pretty disappointed on is that bone marrow. I mean, Wicked Spoon bone marrow used to be like the best one that we've had on the strip, and especially for a buffet, it was really, really good. But now I don't know what changed. I don't know if the chef changed or the menu changed or how they prepare it. It's just not as good as it used to be. And it's still, after this visit, it's still just as disappointing.
Yeah, ditto on that, because it seemed like, I think one of the things that I noticed most is kind of a lack of char. And then for bone marrow, at least for me and for my taste, that char on the bone marrow, it just adds that next level of flavor. And just that being a little different than what it was before. Seeing the bone marrow, you'll see some char in it, but it just seems like it's not charred quite the same way, and so it kind of just lacks in terms of, at least compared to what it was in the past.
Yeah, and moving on to the dessert section here, what were some of the flavors that you got from the gelato section, Simon?
I actually don't remember. I think one of them was probably a Thai tea. I think I had cheesecake and strawberry as well. I think one of the things that always happens is I get so full because I eat up everything, which, is absolutely not a problem in terms of eating wise, but in terms of getting to the dessert portion, I always get so full, and in my mind I think, okay, I still have plenty of room to eat dessert, but then when I get to that point, I'm just kind of going, oh, I don't have that much, and so I really wanted to find something specific to eat, so I just end up not getting as much dessert as I hope I want to eat. So maybe I'll have to change my strategy in the future and definitely attack that dessert station a little earlier.
Yeah, I think just like we said in our other episode in Bacchanal, we were saying that we would get dessert first and then go through the rest of the buffet. I think that would be something that we would have to try one of these days. But going to these dessert items, one thing that I really liked last time I was here was that cone-shaped dessert. It was kind of like a ice cream cone with like chocolate inside and some cream. I thought that was pretty good last time. This time it still tasted about the same, just as good. I did try a few extra items here that I normally would never get at buffet, which is like the cookies and some of these other cakes and such. I just never get this type of stuff, but hey, I figure I'm at the buffet and I need to try as many items as I can, so I did grab as much as I could.
I would have followed you on there if I wasn't so full, but since I wanted to make sure that I got something that I really probably would enjoy, and something probably on the lighter side, which gelato tends to be, at least for me, a little bit on the lighter side, so it doesn't fill me quite as much. But overall, pretty much their dessert station pretty much stayed the same. Very good, a lot of offerings, great employees who are always kind and there to serve you the desserts that you need and you want, with a smile. So definitely this has stayed pretty much on par with how it always been, which has always been pretty good.
Yeah, and one thing I really, really liked about Wicked Spoon is there's no real time limit for how long you can stay there, especially since we were there towards closing. They weren't kicking people out or anything, and they were just letting everyone just eat as much as you want and just, I guess, finish up whatever food they had. And I'm not sure if you can see in the background, there's this lady who just kept grabbing more and more food as we were sitting there, and it was just kind of entertaining just to watch that as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that, Micah. It was pretty interesting to watch. She was pretty much sitting right to the table right behind Micah and I, and at the first we were just kind of looking and seeing what she was doing, but she kept putting more and more plates, and then from what at least I heard, kind of eavesdropping, she was telling the staff that she was getting extra food for a friend that was coming to meet but wasn't there yet. And so, it was pretty interesting to see her just stack on more and more plates onto the table. Hopefully her friend did arrive at some point and she wasn't just saying it to get a whole bunch of food, even though you could tell the staff was kind of worried that they were, piling up and she was just by herself. Overall, I kind of think, the buffet has pretty much stayed the same quality, still very, very good. So definitely, if it's something you remember before and you enjoyed it, it's a place that I would, go again and try some more because it's not going to be disappointing.
And to wrap up our video, here are our notables. Unfortunately for this one, there are none.
If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.